What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Lost Ark guide. In this guide, I'm going to show you my insane Chaos Dungeon Shadowhunter build that you can pretty much copy and paste for yourself. Now, this build is just insane. We've been tweaking it over the last few days on stream, and you can smash, bash, crash, and do whatever you want through mobs and completely destroy them. And most of the time, you're going to be the MVP in the Chaos Dungeon. This thing does huge damage, but you are going to want to watch this video all the way to the end so you understand this build, because it is actually a lot to this build, but it's pretty much copy and paste. By the end of this video, you could go and run this right now and be an absolute beast at the Chaos Dungeons. Now let's get into this guide, but first, if you want to know some of the builds that I'm doing, you can check out my stream in the description. We stream every single day and we mess around with lots of builds. Alright, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to go through the skills first, and we'll go through some perks and things like that. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure with your combat skills you have some presets set up. So this is my general one that I run, this is my Chaos Dungeon, and then this is my raids. Okay, just so you can quickly swap around. So let's focus on the Chaos Dungeon here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the skills that I've used the most first, okay? So basically, Demonic Clone I have in queue. The reason I use Demonic Clone is because it does huge amounts of damage, okay? And I run crit damage on this one, and then I run, after the third slam attack, use the skill again for horizontal attack. And then down here, I use increase stagger level to mid, shadow burst meter gain 100%. Now, your main goal in this class is to get your shadow meter up as fast as possible, multiple times. So we usually get the demonic thing around about 5 to 6 times in a chaos stone. So that's going to be your most important thing. Now, I do have some runic stones, some rune stones on here. Now, you might not have these, but if this one here, on skill hits, specialty meter gain plus 10%, you want to have this one on the one that you use the most and has the closest to the smallest cooldown time. So this cooldown time on the Demonic Clone, I think, is around about 6 seconds, so I have it on this one. Now the next one that I use a lot is the Grind Chain. So we have Elements is now Earth. Now you could probably go with either Outgoing Damage or Elements is Earth. I'm probably going to change it to Outgoing Damage, just test what one works best for you. Then we have Crit Damage 30%. And then this one, throw a weapon to the target for 3 extra seconds to inflict more damage. The rune stone I have of attack speed and move speed plus 8% for 6 seconds when the skill is used. The reason why is because I throw this into the enemy and then I go in as fast as possible with E to do some more damage so I can get in there quicker. Now let's focus on E. My key E binding is Sharpen Cut. And we have rotation duration plus 0.4. We have the bleeding foes one. Now, that's not a very good one. You could probably go with something like this one here. Quickly move up to 6 meters towards the target, but I don't like that one. So I go with this one. And then down here we have attack with the power of the daemon. Demon to challenger or foes or lower foes plus 50%, shadow burst plus 50%, and then shadow burst meter gain plus 100%. You want to have with chaos dungeons, whenever you have the shadow burst meter plus 100% or whatever, you want to run that one. Is the howl, and I don't have any skills on that. I probably should put some on. This one is really, really good. I like this one. So this is a thrust impact. We have explosion radius plus 30%. We have explosions inflict 50% damage and knock back foes. This is really good. I don't have anything on this, but what I do need to do is get some more skill points because I want to get that shadow burst meter up even more, which would be insane. Now the next one I run is this one here, and I have outgoing damage plus 20%. I have more thorns grow from the ground to inflict plus 40% damage. And then this one here is my favorite as well, is the spinning weapon. This does massive damage in the Chaos Dungeon. Cooldown is minus 5 seconds. And then we have attack range plus 30%. And the next one is Cruel Cutter. I do not have anything on here because I haven't figured out what I want to do with that yet. But this is good for just taking down mobs that are in a straight line. Okay, so that is the setup that I have for the key bindings. And then I'm just going to cancel that. Because I haven't, I don't want to change anything. And then I have V as my awakening skill. This is the usual thing. Now, the next thing that's really important with this build is going to be your engraving bonus. You want to go with Demonic Impulse, and you want to stack it twice. Okay, so you're basically essentially your meter down here. It gives it no cooldown time, so you get the demonic skill way more times, like at least 2 more times in the dungeon run. Alright, now for combat stats, guys, there's two important ones that you want to run. The most important one is going to be specialization, so make sure you can get that up as much as you possibly can. This is basically all to do with your demonized skill damage and all that sort of stuff, and it's very important with this build. The next one is crit. My crit is a little bit low. I usually like to have it at plus 10% or more, but that's okay. And swiftness if you can, but mine's actually not too bad, but you don't need to worry about any of this stuff, especially with this build, like physical damage and all that sort of stuff. You're a beast. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get hit much. You're not going to lose much health. So swiftness, but more importantly, specialization, and then crit, and then swiftness. That's the order that I would do it in. Now, guys, I will keep in mind that there's a couple of skills that you won't have. So you might not have the awakening skill yet. And there's also one that you get later on, another skill later on in the story that I also don't have yet that is pretty good for Chaos Dungeons. So if you have that one, put it on. If you don't, no worries. Let's go test this out. So your goal, remember, is to get your demonic skill as many times as possible. I'm going to do the V here and just pop these guys off. And that gives me my demonic nearly straight away. That's the V one, the awakening skill. You might not have that yet. And then I'm going to do the demon. And then bang, we have awakening. We have the skill already. And now we can just demolish enemies. Like, this is crazy. Right, look at this. So that's your goal. Your goal is to get this as many times as possible. Oh, I messed up. I'm trying to record at the same time. That's a little bit hard. And look at that. We're just absolutely destroying these enemies. Okay, and they're done. And then what happens is now, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, that meter is going up really quickly. But you wait until I get that demonic clone back, and it goes up even more. So look how fast it goes up down the bottom. That's crazy. So now I'll get it one more time, and then we'll end the video. But you watch this, the demonic clone is up again, and we get that meter up again. Because we've got that bonus on it. And we've nearly got it again. We got it again. Here we go. Now I'm playing it pretty badly in this video because it's just an example. I'm trying to concentrate on recording. But you probably know how to play this. And yeah, that's all you got to do, guys. You're just doing massive damage. You're getting that demonic skill. Whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. And you should be able to get it 5 or 6 times, at least, with this setup. And even more when you unlock more skill points and get more of that shadow meter perk. I just got a legendary ring. This is crazy. Alright guys, so that is the build. You can essentially go and copy and paste this right now and you'll be an absolute beast in the Chaos Dungeons. Now, what I would say though, is try and get more skill points than I have and go and put some more skill points in like Thrust Impact. So like the encroaching power you might want to do because it gives you more shadow burst meter. Essentially, you want to get your build so you're the demon pretty much the entire time. Most of the time, like 90% of the time. That's the point of using it in the Chaos Dungeon, is to have that on as much as possible so you just do insane damage and you smash and bash all of the mobs. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe, tap that notification bell, smash that like button. You can copy and paste this and you should be able to use it just fine in the Chaos Dungeons if you're running the Shadowhunter.